It's one thing to get answers for somebody else's animal,
Right.
but everything I was getting, I was questioning.
Yeah.
Like, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And it was just like a whirlwind all over the place.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't I felt like I didn't know how to help. And it was almost just like every so often he'd just be like, Ruth, just calm down for a minute and we'll figure it out. I'll stick around for a few more days, or I'll watch myself so I don't run into a fence or something, you know? Welcome to Taste Your Magic. I'm Ruth Barclay. They call me the Oracle, and this was a name given to me from around the world, working with leaders and tribes and amazing people. And what we're doing today is we're giving readings, and that can consist of any questions about yourself, anything, talking to a loved one, talking to some animals. And we get a variety of unique questions on this. And what I like about this is we don't have to do it really quick. We can actually answer the questions a little bit more and interact with it. But today we have Shawn Finnegan with us.
So great to be here.
And I'm really excited for this. This is something that I feel like we've been trying to work out for a little bit because we both have a lot of stuff going on. A lot of things
going, right.
And we did get him down to the ranch.
Yes, it was amazing.
He rode Rebel, and they were like
besties.
Bros, right off the get-go.
We were bros. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you would have thought that you had been doing riding a lot more than you had.
Because Rebel's such a good trainer. So whipped me right into shape. It was like, I was like able to follow his lead. It was like I was saying earlier, it's like I was nervous a little bit, and like literally that animal just calmed me down and got me in the mindset of riding. It was actually really, I was like amazed.
He's like, I'll make sure you look.
I've heard of these powers of the horse, but that was like a real experience for me.
Yeah.
Seeing how much that they actually help us versus us, nurturing and taking care of them.
Yeah, because I didn't really tell you much of anything.
Yeah.
Just like, here's a reminder real quick in case you didn't know. And let's go all the way through the trees and up and down and through water. And
the last time I rode a horse it was like Central America. And it was like, we went out to a volcano, and these horses were like 3 clicks from wild.
Wow.
So they were like constantly competing. And so that was the last time I did. And they were bucking, and it was really scary. So I was like kind of rode off horses for a while. So I brought all that anxiety to the table to start, where I was like, oh man, I'm going to jump on this horse and who knows. And immediately Rebel just calmed me down, snapped into it. Like it felt like he was on the job too. He was like there to do a job and make it happen. It was an amazing experience.
Thanks.
It like totally changed. Now I see a horse, and any horse I see, I just think different.
Yeah, you've actually been able to connect in with that.
Yeah.
That's good. I actually learned a while in the ball game of doing this to ask the horses that go out in the field. And I don't even have to go in the field now, but I'll say, this is who's coming. This is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. These are my thoughts on who should go with who, but let me know your thoughts. And they ultimately choose the rider in the end of who wants to take care of who.
Wow.
Yeah, it's nice. It's made my job really nice, because before I used to make it happen, and that's when I would have wrecks. Because they'd be like, no, not me. I'm like, but you're the best,
Do you think they just, each one is an individual, and they attract a certain kind of other emotional connection with someone?
Yeah.
They can feel it.
Yeah. And what's being needed in that day. And sometimes the horses aren't feeling it that day, no matter how good they would have been, they're just not feeling it.
Yeah, they're individuals, right? They have their own personalities. They have their own style.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, it was incredible. And the ride you took us on was so gorgeous.
Thank you.
It was so therapeutic, because I feel like in those moments too, you forget about all the stuff that we have on our plates. And you can just focus on the trail, the surroundings, the horse. And yeah, it was such a good mental break for me.
The fun ones also are the full moon rides. We'll have to see if we can get you down for one of those, because that's a different environment.
Yeah.
With how you get to surrender into things, and you feel a different power from yourself and the horse and the ground and stuff with that.
As long as I get reunited with my buddy,
you'll get him.
Yeah, all right, good.
You'll get Rebel for sure.
Would Rebel at this point, you think, recognize?
Oh yeah, he
someone?
Totally knows.
I only rode him one time. You think if I went back at night or something, Rebel would recognize?
He knows when like I can catch him peeking in when Scott and I are talking about going up to any of your events or anything like that too. So he remembers the connections.
Much more than we understand. The average, you understand because you have your abilities with them, but we, like an average person, doesn't understand how much gifts they have.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what's interesting? I'm going to experiment on you for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So because you and Rebel really do, and he said it too, right? It wasn't just me noticing it. He said it too, which he doesn't usually say. Okay. So he's actually wanting to be part of this a little bit. So he wants to know if you can feel him or hear him. What do you notice?
Now?
Yeah.
In this moment?
Yeah. If you were to connect with him, because he's trying to connect with you.
Yeah.
What comes up first? Like, do you see a vision? Do you hear him? Do you feel him? Like, what do you notice?
I kind of go back to the moment when I was riding on his back and I could feel his spirit.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
I could feel his peace.
Yeah.
Right?
And so what does that feel like in you? Like, how would you recognize that as, oh yeah, that was our time?
Yeah. I just felt like here's an animal that is confident in their responsibilities and their duties. You know what I mean? And I felt that like he was there for a mission, just as I was, to reunite and re-engage with horses, which I hadn't done in years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like this mutual thing where he had a mission and so did I.
That's good. So if you ever feel like it, he says, if you ever feel like just talking to him, he'll listen.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Sometimes he says he'll tell you stuff that's going on the ranch too, with the family. If you ever feel like you want to know.
That'd be great.
I'm like, Rebel.
Yes. Makes me want to go see him again. Right?
Tell some secrets.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, don't you dare.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway. All right. Cool. So there's that.
Yeah.
That was a moment of you doing some animal communication.
Yeah.
Do you want to see if you can feel a message from him?
Sure.
Okay. So go ahead and just the first part, the biggest part is acknowledging that you recognize the connection, which is what you've done.
Yeah.
And then acknowledging the familiar parts and maybe like not familiar or where you're being directed in it. Okay. And then if it's not on the right, you won't be able to really say it, which is funny.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Rebel's got a message that, and I don't know, he won't tell me if he wants to share it on the show, for the show, or for you. But either way, so first off, if for me, if you will ask him if it's for the show or if it's for you, or maybe me, I don't know. But mostly I'd rather keep it for the show or you.
So I ask Rebel like right now that we're engaging with, is the message for myself or is something we can share on the show?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And is that enough of a question or I need to pose it in a certain way?
No, that can be enough.
Okay.
If you don't know your yeses and nos or whatever, then you can adjust it. But
okay. Great.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, go ahead.
So for me right now, and this would include Rebel and his feedback as well, right? So for me, it's one of the challenges I've been having is just too much going on, right? Like just, I feel like my RPMs are like 10,000 plus. And I feel like I'm missing out on certain things.
Yeah.
That I'm just so in the weed, you know, like my head's so much in the clouds because of all the energy and action coming my way that I'm probably missing out on so much in life right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm just running too hot without breaks.
Yeah, I could see that.
So that's my biggest thing I've been thinking about lately.
Very good. And so he's kind of bringing that up for you and just reminding you of like your grounding side.
Yeah, maybe I felt him especially because even then when I was with him, I was like, it was so hard for me to even get to.
You barely made it down there.
Yeah, barely made it down there. And I was looking at the schedule. I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. And it was really tight on my schedule. And I think it was like therapeutic for me to jump on that horse and just feel that he could sense that in me. I feel.
Yeah.
Right.
That good understanding.
Yeah.
And that you're fine right now. You did it.
Yeah.
Take a breath for a minute.
And he was able to calm me. Right.
Yeah. Very good.
Which was my experience.
Well, I appreciate you connecting in with him. I've got a lot of respect for him and he'll say it straight. I mean, if he'll either not say it, but he'll give you the like, okay, like, you know, so I definitely know he's sharing that for a reason so that we can kind of help settle you a little bit while we do this. Like this gets to be kind of your settling, even though we're going to talk about stuff every so often, just think about settling into the couch for a second. Right. and like loosening up a little bit. Right.
Yeah, I can feel it while you say that too.
Nice. So he'll keep helping you with that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Then, yeah, it's nice, huh?
Mhm.
It's like, thanks. Okay.
How does it work with something like that where he's all the way down in Moroni? How do you emotionally connect with an animal that's in a different place like that? What is the best way to channel that?
As a general or as me?
Yeah, what advice would you have for someone like me
Yeah.
that needs to do that?
So ultimately, connections with a being
Mhm.
is through the heart.
Mm.
And so sometimes I will like notice my heart and I'll notice how it starts to feel. And then I will actually envision and picture it connecting in and
Mm.
seeing. I don't make it. It's
Mm.
kind of like people, like some people will just be like, oh, I need your help, right?
Yeah,
And you're
right.
like, oh, okay. Or
Yeah.
you ignore them.
Mhm.
And sometimes you can be like, hey, I just need to be around you for a minute, right?
Mm.
So however you come in, you're going to approach and you'll feel that respect that animal.
Mhm.
And then for me, like some things that I notice is it kind of, you either get pulled there a little bit
Mhm.
or they get pulled here,
Mm.
or a space opens up where you can picture
Mm.
like he brought you to, you guys connected through a memory. And it was almost
Yeah.
like you could go there
Yeah.
to know you were connected.
Right.
So something happens where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we're in.
Mm-hmm. I felt like he had his mission, I had mine, and then we met in the middle and we had this moment. And as you're talking, I go right back on the saddle in that moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then that's your easiest way to connect the two
Yeah.
of you guys.
Beautiful.
So you could do that anytime.
Hmm.
And sometimes you could even be like, can you remind me maybe, or show me how my back was feeling in that? You can start asking, oh, I felt that, but what else was happening? And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden it'll open up to other things and you might feel it, or you might be like, oh, I totally forgot my shoelace was untied or something
Right.
like that.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you had something painful happen to you, was it about a year ago or so, where you lost your old friend
Yeah.
that I saw? What was that experience like for you, where you built a relationship for many years with that animal? And I could just, as you did your post, I just felt it. Like I got chills when I saw you and the pain you were going through and how much love you had for that animal.
Yeah. Pilot.
Yeah.
He's actually just a few years older than Rebel. It was Pilot and Rebel, but very separate people, animals. So I think he was a very powerful, very stoic. He was always the representation of a powerful, loving man that kept order, that held it to, he did good. And so it was almost like he was handing it over to Scott, like, Ruth, it's good. You're good now. And
because he helped you stabilize your emotions.
Right. I could
years.
come out in just like raging, throwing stuff. And if he knew it was like a pure space, I literally, like, he'd come over and he's so big that he'd just like put his leg right by there for me to grab his leg, and I'd just be like, ah! And he'd like pet my head or rub my back or whatever needed to be
That was amazing.
held in the moment. And so that was really like, it was almost like because he lost his sight. And so he was getting intimidated. And that's not him. And so it was like, I promised him, we had a lot of promises, and I promised him that I would never let him get to a space where he didn't feel like himself and powerful. And I didn't know what that looked like, right? I kind of thought I was going to sell him and some little girl would be riding him or something.
Yeah.
But he wanted to stay the whole time. And so it was more of like a noble agreement that we had. But it was so hard.
Yeah.
So hard.
How many years did you have Pilot?
18 years.
Wow.
18 years.
What was that moment like for you when you found out that you had to say goodbye?
Broke down so many times. And I go through this like shock when my animals or something bad happens, because you just gotta like step up. Somebody's gotta step up for a minute.
Yeah.
So I go through those shocks and then I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then it's one thing to get answers for somebody else's animal.
Right.
But everything I was getting, I was questioning.
Yeah.
Like, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? And it was just like a whirlwind all over the place.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't I felt like I didn't know how to help. And it was almost just like every so often he'd just be like, Ruth, just calm down for a minute and we'll figure it out. I'll stick around for a few more days, or I'll watch myself so I don't run into a fence or something, you know? Yeah. It was
powerful. I had this dog that I had for 15 years, little Shih Tzu named Cosmo, like this big. And this dog was so loyal to me. I mean, like literally would sleep outside my door, wake up in the morning, follow me around, was my shadow, the most true, loyal. And he had all sorts of stuff, you know, his like legs had issues and he was kind of wompy, and his tongue started sticking out. So he was like, looked goofy at the end. And I was like, oh, this dog's lived the best life ever. It's going to be pretty easy to just say, hey, he's lived a great life and never really suffered and always had a family that loved him. And then when the time happened, when we had to say goodbye, it shattered me. I was shocked how hard. And I remember we had to take him to the vet and do it that way. And it was like so hard. You know what I mean? That moment you're looking at this little guy. He's like, was like my best friend, literally. Bad day at the office, something happens. You go, this little guy loves you no matter what.
Yeah.
Right. And it was so I was bawling my eyes out when I had to say goodbye.
I think when you have to put them down.
Yeah.
It's like, you're like making this extremely hard choice for them. And it's such a zero-sum game choice.
Like it's not for us because we would love to just keep them around forever.
Yeah.
And at some point you have to make the decision that's best for that animal, but you don't want that decision. You don't want to have to make that call because you want them to be around for 100 years, right? It's so tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does take a lot of courage to go into that space and be the love that they're asking for in that way.
Yeah. Right.
So I feel for you so much.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing your post when
they were pretty close together, weren't they?
Yeah, they were close for sure. Yeah, but I remember seeing your post with Pilot and just seeing, I could just feel it and sense it, what you were going through after 18 years.
Yeah.
In that relationship. It's a true friend that you built for 18 years.
Yeah. Seriously, the only human that I could even compare could come close to him and Rebel, what they've done for me in my life, is Scott, my husband.
Yeah. Sure.
And like, you know, I cut his tail off and he was still up and the vet was there and we dug this big hole and we were going to plant a big tree for him. And he was ready. And all the horses were running around and whinnying and whinnying and whinnying. And we had 3 mares in with him that were like, one was a seeing eye dog. So she got to stick around in there. We kept some in with him. And once it was time though, I left and took the tail inside and I just broke down and Scott helped bury him and stuff like that afterwards. Right. And so, yeah. Oh, do you want to talk to your dog?
Sure.
What would you like to ask? Or
so, you know, he did have his share of problems, and maybe just hear from him. Any advice, any thoughts? You know, he's been gone for a couple of years now. I'd love to see how he feels.
Yeah. So he's showing me that he it's like when he runs, he says it's like really cool floaty and he sees a lot of sparkles, but he comes in and out. And he says that you actually haven't needed him as much as he thought you would. And maybe that's just because you don't think about it or, but he was kind of like, oh, I could follow him everywhere now. Right. And he was like, I get to be there, but it's more of we are just together. Yeah. And so I think he's asking like, can you feel him? And did you forget that you could talk to him?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. We have a picture of him in our laundry room, and I went in the laundry room the other day, and I looked up, and there's this cute picture of him when he was younger, and those are the thoughts that hit you. But yeah, sometimes they get lost, right? Yeah. And that although they've moved on, they haven't really moved on, and they're still there, right? Yeah. Yeah. And to like not just talk about him, but talk to him is just like a different thought process. But he's definitely saying he's around. He still likes to hear it all. Yeah. So. And you know, he always had a struggle running. So what you just said about him running being smooth and is probably like he's in a great place.
Yeah, he's happy, feeling good. He's feeling good.
Yeah.
Did
Love it.
you like squish his head when you'd pet him
Oh
at all?
yeah.
Oh,
All the time.
okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
'Cause I
Yeah.
just started feeling
Just
like
cute
my
little head.
face squishing and then
Yeah.
in my hands.
Yeah. I did that a lot for sure. Yeah.
He liked that.
Yeah. Yep. Love it.
Oh man.
I mean, I'm always fascinated, and you're a fascinating person. I remember going to the Edison house and watching your interview. I was so amazed because you were talking about some of the hardest things, and you didn't worry about what people thought in that room, and you shared your truth and where you got a lot of your abilities from. And it was so refreshing. There's so much fake out there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I became a Ruth fan in that moment, watching you up there in the spotlight and answering really tough stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a beautiful interview. And I was like, wow. I mean, I understand how you got all your gifts
Thank
because
you.
of the adversity and the friction you've been through in life and how you were able to build that. It's kind of like a muscle, right? Would you say? It's like you've exercised that muscle so much in your life.
Well, yeah, and you get to learn what you're actually good at and what it really is and what it really isn't and what you're not really good at.
What makes you feel okay to be vulnerable like that?
Well, that was actually my first time sharing like in a public setting like that. I think I mentioned some stuff a long time ago, like on a live, because my mom actually admitted it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Right.
I was like, I need to share something.
Yeah.
And that was it. And so what it was the space that was created. If it's a legit space, then I can do anything that's put in front of me because I'll trust it. I'll have the faith in it. Right? I have a lot of faith. And so in my faith, I ask what is it? Who's going to help me? Like, what can I bank on? And I surrender into faith a lot. And faith, I can feel it. I can feel the strength around it.
Yeah.
And if it starts collapsing a little bit, or if they don't really want to know so much, then I can kind of zero it in and get my help. Like, what do they want to know? What's the part that will help it in a simplified form? And
you felt it in that moment, Edison House, a couple hundred people in the room.
Yeah.
You felt it in that moment. You felt that was the right space.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did.
And you stepped into that.
Yeah. I was like, okay, thank you. I'm going to do it. And at that point, really, I think if other people can handle my truth, then I can handle my truth. And so that's what I've learned.
You won them all over in that moment, because I think someone on the outside might say, oh, that sounds like strange. But then when you kind of unpack like where your background was and how you built it up and how you communicate, I was like, wow. It was like, I think the whole audience was captivated.
Oh, thanks.
And you can feel it from just an attendee in the room. You can feel that emotional, like mental connection with you when you were up there.
Yeah, the truth of it.
Yeah.
Hear the experience. I think that's what I really love about interacting with you and some of the people that you bring in to your groups is there are a lot of people who are experienced. And when there's experience, then when they speak, me as a person, I can follow the line of what they're speaking, right? And see the memory that wants to be seen, or pull it back up. And if it's not really there, people can forget things. And sometimes I can retrieve scenarios. But if it's not actually there, then it like starts getting like almost like I'm trying to make up the story they're telling me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure does.
And
we have a fellow friend, Anne-Marie, right?
Yes,
And
love
she was
her.
at the X Room and met you, and she latched onto you. And then she emceed the next event and she talked about you.
Yeah.
And that, like, because we were talking about testimonials for people that you met, and she talked about you and how
I made me feel so good.
Yeah.
I was like,
so I think she referred some other friends that were here today, and I think it's just so cool that she just latched on to you and loved you, and you're still friends and doing things together. I think it's so great.
Yeah, thank you for that. She was cool.
Yeah.
We'll play some more. There's a couple of readings where on the lives I was doing that mentioned the castle thing before it was ever a go. or it was like it was in the process or something, and then it went. And so I feel a little partial to her castle. I keep asking
I love it.
How's the castle doing?
I love that whole story too. So you sensed that in one
it
of
was
our
on
readings.
a live.
Yeah, because I know that was like heavy on her mind doing all the work around that. So
yeah, it was cool.
So you have a little piece of the castle.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
That's some of my real estate. I ask her all the time, what? You selling it? Wait, hold on, what?
Right. And then I've jumped on some of your lives on Instagram. It's like, I'm just amazed that you take, just any question. Like authenticity, realness, genuine wins the day. And I think that live interaction is electric. There's no script you have at all. And you're dealing with people on that live that have really hard things they've been through.
Yeah.
A family member has passed on, they've lost a pet, and you're just taking these. It's amazing. I mean, just amazed. I'm amazed at the work you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So do you have another question for you?
Yeah. So, I lost my dad about 3 years ago in an accident. So he'd been through chemo and other things and was struggling, literally fell back one day after doing yard work and hit his head, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was kind of an unexpected thing. So it wasn't like he was like, we could chat with him while he was sick for years. It was like all of a sudden, just one day he's gone.
Wow.
Quickly. So I've been thinking about him a lot and want to know how he's doing.
Yeah. What's his name?
Wayne.
Mm-hmm. So the head hit was a blessing. It was a prayer of good deeds is how he puts it, fulfilled. And he says, you know what that means.
Yeah.
So, but he does say like he's sorry it went into like it hit you with the cancer and then it hit you with the it's like, so it was just like boom, boom.
Yeah. Right.
And kind of making sure if you're okay with it and making sure your experiences aren't too bad is what he's saying. Is like, it's almost like I couldn't even imagine what that would be like being a son watching that, because it was him in it. And that's a different perspective.
Yeah. I was there, so he was in a coma for a couple of days. So I was there when he finally passed. So it was like me and two others in that room. And it was tough. Nothing can prepare you for going through that. Yeah. Right.
Well, he's been a little curious of like your side of that. And he's also willing to like listen anytime you want to like share more with that, because he's really curious what it'd be like to be a son through that. Because when he thinks about it, he thinks like, I don't know if I could, what I would do. I don't know how I could do that, but I guess you just have to do it. But he's doing great. He's doing work, and he's helping people pass through. He's one of the hands, one of the hands of God that helps pull through.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's kind of interesting because he's like, he only uses 3 of the symbols. The other ones he's never seen him use. So I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
He's been watching over your daughter, and she's been going through a little bit. And does she need any help? Like, is there a question for her?
Yeah, she's definitely going through a transitional time of life. Just graduated. She's nervous. She's scared. She feels like she's drifting right now.
Well, he's like, let her know she's being loved and supported all around her.
Awesome.
And everyone in her life is proud of her. And that's hard for her to, she like knows it and hears it, but that's hard for her to, like, why would you be proud of me?
Right.
You
sure.
know?
Yeah. Get that a lot. Yeah.
You do?
For sure. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. With her, especially. Yeah.
So they'll keep trying to help just soothe, like, you are enough. You're good. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right
great.
now.
It's beautiful.
So good.
Amazing.
Any other questions for Dad?
No, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. And a lot of that makes sense.
Good.
Based on my relationship with him.
That's really good. Yeah. He seems like a steady man.
Very steady. Bookstore manager for 40 years.
Wow.
So that give you an idea how steady, how you would picture a bookstore manager is the most steady, even keeled guy on the planet, right? Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I can talk and I'm like, get excited. He's more just like steady. It's like a whale in the ocean, Yep. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That's cool. Do you have any messages coming through for me?
Yeah, I just think I look at you and I just look at you're such a beacon to the world. And I'm just so impressed with your work, how many people you've helped. And I've seen you on the grassroots talking to people that really need comfort and a direction. And I just think you're one of the greatest in the world at really providing that value and service to people.
Thank you.
So love and appreciate all you do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I needed that.
It's true.
I think I was getting a little worn out, and there's so much false stuff right now playing and intermingling everywhere. My senses were just going off. Like I've needed to kind of just step out and help myself acclimate to this new space. And where do we get to help this settle? And
well, I feel it. You feel very settled and very, very focused right now.
Thank you.
Me, which is amazing. So maybe that, part of your journey, this last, recent journey really helped focus.
Thank you. I believe that. And you are confirming that.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the deal. I was like, all right, the only one I'm going to believe that things are actually moving is if you get Shawn on the show.
Yes.
And then Maylee on there too.
Yeah.
And I made it complicated too. So it'd be opposites a little bit, right?
Yeah. Maylee was first up today.
She was first.
Yeah.
And then you were closing it out.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that's so great that you like, hey, let's get those two together. And then that happened today.
Yeah. That's how precise I'm going to be.
And it just confirms how you've been feeling, that like there's this extra focus and you're on a mission.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
Thank you. Let me give you a hug.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you very much. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah. And
Loved
there you go. We had a good conversation on that one.
Loved it.
He kind of like flipped the script, even though we don't have a script.
Yeah.
But most people they've got a question they want answered.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, let's explore some stuff.
Yeah, there's things I wanted to ask you, so I'm glad you took this space for that too. Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. That's our show for now.